Hello! Welcome to Magic Myths and Mayhem, a TTRPG podcast with mostly accurate rules and inconsistent character voices. I'm Alex, your host and GM, and with me are Rowan, Birdie, and Joe, my wonderful players. How are the three of you doing on this completely non-special day?
Tired.
I'm very tired, and I feel like today is going to be very chaotic.
Is it? Should we not have a session today?
I don't know. I'm sitting here wondering the same fucking thing, to be honest. It's already in fucking pieces.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, people don't want
that's why
to.
I said I feel like it would be chaotic. Because we have tried this intro, this is the third time we've tried to do it now?
Well, this is the third time that it wasn't like just you guys talking and let me do the intro. That's true. The most important thing to note, of course, is that my father is not here, but only one person knows why. And that's Purdy.
I knew you were going to fucking do that to me. I was looking at my lollipop going, if I'm not paying attention, he's going to end up doing this to me. No, he's not. He always goes to Joe. Well, fuck you. Your dad's off on a cyber invention course.
Yep. There's commonly known cyber invention courses.
He
wants to go to.
I hope that I paced that
told
as well as you just did, Purdy.
You know what? I have already told you I'm tired. I already told you I wasn't technically paying attention. And
No, it's fine.
really bad being put on the spot like that.
The cyber invention course that he's on is rare and not something that many people know of, and that's it's good. We're bringing awareness to the cyber invention course. Not to be confused with anything to do with the Cybertruck, of course.
Well, that's what I was going to go down, like some Cybertruck blowing up thing, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to.
How? How are you going to get there?
I don't think she knows.
Basically, he was going to go on a hunting trip for Cybertrucks, and then I thought, no, that's just going to sound stupid.
So you quick pivoted to cyber invention course.
100% correct. The turn was good. Cyber invention course didn't make you sound stupid in the slightest.
Leave me alone. It is 9 at night on a Friday
easy.
after a week of stress for me.
I'm sorry. We have a recap to go through, which Joe won't be able to hear.
Yeah, I remember what happened.
I don't, so I need to hear it.
Yeah, we have to pay attention to it.
Oh.
A shame.
What is?
The death of a great one.
The Offician Dragon.
Indeed.
What exactly happened there?
It's a simple story. There's a crew. They do not yet have a name in legend, but their time will come. They traveled to the Church of the Two Sons in Cell to investigate a local trouble. Many of the churchgoers had fallen unconscious for an unknown reason, and they were charged with discovering this reason. Their investigations led them to a local hospice, where the unconscious lay, and some diagnosis there, along with some findings at the church, led them to correctly believe that the cause was the water in the holy pool. They followed the source of the pool waters to a cave deep underground, where they discovered the Ancient One, and discovered that it was dying.
So what did they do?
They did what they could. They gave it comfort, and let it finally rest.
Why didn't they heal it?
They are not powerful beings like us. They were not able.
Oh. Why didn't we heal it?
We did not heal it because we do not disturb the natural path of life on Gel. It is not our decision as to who lives and who dies.
I see. A shame.
What is?
The death of a great one.
Indeed.
Just like how fucking epic that
Why
was.
is it going so fucking hard? It doesn't need to do that.
Music. I was just bopping along to it.
That's great. Just unnecessarily aggressive music.
Yeah. What the hell?
Joe, just pretend you're listening to it.
Why did that go so hard? That was
Right?
boppage to the maximum.
Boppage maximum.
Yeah, what did it sound like?
The only people who have before displayed that level of boppage is Sharpay and Ryan Evans. So I think you need to calm yourself down, Alex.
I didn't make that music.
Did Sharpay and Ryan Evans do it? That would explain it.
So, you find yourself in a cave, as stated deep beneath sort of the north of Cell. You have, as a group, just watched the grand and giant Ophidian dragon slide through death back into the waters, and are left in the quiet. Some dripping of stalactites from the ceiling, but other than that, and perhaps some ever so slight noise of breezes coming from various river paths around the edges. Just you and your thoughts.
So you want to go kill a bounty or something?
Sure.
I mean, first, shouldn't we check that, like, we have been able to satisfy the terms of the job that brought us here?
Yeah, I mean, after we turn this in, obviously.
No, but like, so that we can turn it in. Like, Captain, what was the wording of the job?
The request is you find the source of the problem and deal with it appropriately.
Which we've done.
Now, the Church of the Two Sons is a church that celebrates life, but I think it would be best if there's no death during this.
We did not kill. Just saying.
So yes, it depends. It was find the source and deal with it appropriately.
All right.
Find the sauce and deal with it appropriately.
But we only found a dragon, not some buffalo.
We found the source of the sauce.
Maybe we need to look for Caesar.
I'm sure there's a few thousand islands out there.
We don't really have the right weather for that. It's not really cold enough.
What?
Well, it's Hail Caesar, isn't it?
Pastor starts walking out of the cavern.
Yeah. Niffy's right behind.
I'd like to look around for some kind of souvenir, Alex. Any shed scales or oozage that I can pop in, like a capsule or something.
Oozage. In terms of scales and things,
I prefer something like a scale or a tooth, but I'll take ooze if there is any.
I've already got some ooze.
You would have to go diving into the water to find anything like that, which you are welcome to do. It would just take a while. If you want something that is, I guess, in its own way, a souvenir, the oil that sits atop the cave lake could be considered that.
Oh, you said that there were a bunch of stalagmites in here.
Yeah, plenty around. I mean, the ceiling is very high, but if you went down to where the cave roof meets the walls, I'm sure you could find some that you could get to. None of the, grand ones, but...
Well, there's
I guess
one
the
is from the ceiling and one is from the floor, isn't it? So, are there none on the floor?
Stalagmites on the floor. I was only thinking of the ones that would be above the lake, but I did say that the lake takes about half of the space, so yes, if you went for a walk around the lake, thered be some stalagmites.
Cool. I will go break off a stalagmite.
Sure.
And then can I just get like a little vial of the oil along with pesto?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, those for some reason. Well, you've got a little, one of those small ones I have back there of oil. The stalagmite is easy to break off. You get a small amount. It's not particularly interesting in color or anything. It's just like a sandstony kind of color, limestone maybe, because that's what drips. And get on.
And how do I spell the name of the dragon?
OphisIan.
Thank you.
You wander back out of the cave. Now, if you remember, it's quite a long trek down. Well, presuming you were going back the way you came, it's quite a long walk all the way back to the church. I think it was about an hour or so. I don't have the exact time written. It's somewhere in these notes. Is there anything you want to do in that time? I think for such a uneventful walk, if you wanted to, I could call it a short rest, because though a short rest you're not meant to be doing things, it's just having a little wander, so I'm fine with that being a short rest. If you want to just get on with it or do something else, that is also fine.
We would probably have discussed how best to wrap this up with the suspicious girl, whose name I don't remember. Are we just saying just wait a week and then your water will be fine, or are we saying you should block this off, or are we just telling them the water's a problem and letting them deal with it?
If you wish, you can do some natures or arcana. Yeah, it's in the right region to sort of see what you can work out given the circumstances.
Oh.
Put it to a roll.
It's merely a 12, so
You're
I will
sure.
use a tactical mind,
Go for it.
making it a dirty 20.
Oh, wonderful.
Which will then come back to me because we're having a short rest.
Sure. effectively, you aren't obviously entirely 100% sure, but given the way that the pool presumably works, which is if there's water coming in, there has to be water going out, otherwise it'll be overflowing. It'll take a little bit of time for all of this oil on the surface to filter out. Evidently a lot of it was building its over this entire gigantic lake, but it's going in lots of different directions. So, best guess in terms of the pool's safety, they just give it a week or so until they can't see the oil anymore. That's probably okay. You know, it's visible, you just have to know what you're looking for. In terms of the unconscious party, until you go and check on them, you're not sure, but again, best assumptions, if the thing that was controlling them or had control over them is dead, usually that means they'll be okay. But you obviously haven't got there yet, so you don't know.
Well, it seems clear to me.
Just tell them to wait.
Yeah. Much?
So you get back to the other side and crawl your way back through the entrance to the pool. I can't remember if you all became resistant to it, but I'm going to say that you did through exposure therapy, because I can't bother with all the rolls and stuff just to finish all this off. Have a little swim through the waters, or should I say a wade, because it's not that deep, through the waters back into the back of the church, which is quiet, as it was before, apart from the echoing sound of snores coming from the library.
Oh, the daughter's asleep, isn't she?
Yeah, so, like, this is the best time to kill her if that's something that we're going to do.
We're not killing her. What is your obsession with killing her? I mean, I'm down to kill people, just why her?
Oh, she's just been super suspicious, so I think she might have more to do with this. I think she might have put those dragons there.
Really?
They're not dragons.
I mean, you can't really judge by appearances. She could be, like, some kind of fiend for all we know.
Alex knew exactly what he was fucking doing by naming it an Orthisian dragon and then getting on us when we're not. Ah!
Ozzy, you know when you were properly alive, were you dropped on your head?
I don't believe so, but there were a few times where I nearly drowned.
Yeah, that explains everything.
Like as a kid?
Waterlogged brain and everything.
Yeah, if he was cut off from air for an extended period of time, then there could have been like decreased blood flow to the brain, which could have caused some of this. So.
Yeah.
Though I don't know why that would be affecting him now.
But I feel like I've done quite a lot of learning since my like provincial beginnings. So you know, I think it's quite a good idea.
What's a good idea?
Like she might be a dragon. She might have set this whole thing up.
I mean. She may be a dragon, but the thing that we just encountered wasn't a dragon, so I don't know how that would technically be related.
But you all kept calling it a dragon?
It just by name. It's a misnomer.
We were going to have Niffy talk to it in Draconic.
Common's really, really fucking stupid in the way that they call things.
So it's just an Ophisian really big snake?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
no, actually, no, it's not a snake either, because it does have arms. So it's just kind of its own thing.
So it's an Ophisian eel with arms?
Yeah, sure.
It's not a skink. Ophisian skink doesn't sound quite as good, does it?
Skink? It's like an Ophisian newt?
Yeah, Ophisian tadpole.
Alright. I can see why they just call it a dragon, because that sounds a lot better. But, you know, that's not very accurate.
And I mean, based on their history, if they were using it as like an imposing force, in the cultures that it was a part of, then calling it a dragon would, by name alone, be more threatening than calling it whatever it actually is.
Well, I wonder how like the actual dragons feel about that.
I think they probably have bigger problems, to be honest.
I don't know, like identity theft is not a joke.
You look over at the dragon that goes around with you, who's currently
camera.
No, well, the dragon who you all look at Pumpkin, who looks at you because you all looked at Pumpkin, and then just like walks into a wall just because he got distracted.
You're like, I wish we had a proper dragon that we could ask.
Don't offend Pumpkin like that.
We can ask my mom when we go and see her. She'd know.
Is she a dragon?
Oh, is your mom? Your mom's a dragon. That's really cool.
What?
Did I not mention that?
How did the raccoon
No.
come out of a dragon, though?
Oh, well, not my real mom. I just spent more time with her than I did my real parent, so... She's like more a mom than my mom was.
Oh, that makes
Wait,
sense.
so is this that thing where you just mentioned it's a misnomer? So you call her your mom, but she's not actually your mom?
Well, it depends if you're just talking about like a biological mother, like the one who gives birth to you, or the one who like took on the roles of a mom in like the development process.
When we say mum to you, who do you think of?
Yeah, it's kind of up to you that.
I think of my mom.
Your dad or your raccoon mum?
They're like a proper dragon, or they're another giant skink?
No, they're more like a big rock now.
What?
It's really
like a
hard to
rock.
explain if you're not there.
We need to go see your mum.
I think a big rock's generally called a boulder.
Well, the big rock's called Dwayne.
Oh my god, this is going to be a chaotic session. I can feel it.
Oh, good lord. Are we just going to sit in this church and talk about my rock mom?
Oh my god, is
I'd
it
like
punk
to-
rock or metal rock?
I'd like to hear quite a lot more about this statue that raised you. Like, that's quite an interesting thing, and I'm surprised it hasn't come up in like the 3 months that we've known each other.
If they were telling you what to do as a mum, you could say that they were a statue of limitations.
Anyway, we shouldn't kill this lady.
Whilst you're nattering, and as you say, we shouldn't kill this lady, Sal just wanders up behind you, just like, you're not killing?
Uh,
Ah, good, you're awake.
Uh-huh.
pay no attention to the dragon.
You know,
What dragon?
I just kind of assumed at this point that adventurers would have, you know, like, not to be insensitive about it, but like, you're not exactly the most usual group of people, so a dragon's just par for the course.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, you're the most normal one here.
Oh, thanks.
What?
Thank you.
I'm totally normal.
Well, I mean, you're not a common species around here. But I don't know if you're normal within your species, but I'm not going to make a comment on that. That would be a lot of assumptions.
Pesto, we just found out you were raised by a statue shaped like a dragon, so I'd say you're probably the most unusual person here.
No, I didn't say they were shaped like a dragon.
Were you able to fix my problem?
We
Oh yeah, we did that like an hour ago.
Something died in the water, but it's fine now.
Of old age, we should say. It's not like we killed
Yeah,
it.
of old age.
yeah, we didn't kill them.
Okay.
We provided it a peaceful transition.
Have you ever heard about Thessian dragons?
They are not actually dragons, by the way.
Yeah.
Are you vaguely?
It's the Offician skink.
It's basically it's a creature that has or it's able to excrete this oily like substance that does what happened to all the churchgoers. But because this one was dying of old age, it couldn't control it, so it kind of just leaked into the pool, and anybody that touched that substance is knocked out. We're about to go check to see if they've woken up now that the creature that was excreting it is dead.
So you're telling me that my problem was an incontinent dragon?
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
No, it's not a dragon. We were just talking about this while you were
Yeah.
asleep.
Not technically a
It's
dragon.
like a big
but-
eel but with arms.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess if we're going over to check out I'll come with you to the hospice.
Sure.
Great.
All right, let's go.
You wander out the front of the church. Two different guards are standing there now, and you wander down the streets towards the hospice. You do not get too close to the hospice before you notice that there's a big crowd of people outside of said hospice, and as you get closer, it appears to be all of the people who were once asleep, in fact, awake and now confused, standing outside. You can see as you get closer, the person who was charged with looking after them kind of vaguely explaining some things, but obviously getting a bit confused about all of it, before your new friend Sal just speeds off ahead of you, runs off into the distance, and embraces one of them, presumably her mother, not just a stranger.
Oh, I thought it was going to be a random person.
It could be, you don't know.
Seems like the problem is solved.
Oh, it's good there.
So do we just like leave at this point and go get our cash, or?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
Guess so.
Wonderful. So you wander. I think it's another 1 hour and a half, couple hours of walk back
Yeah,
down
I think
to.
you said about a couple hours. Yeah.
I don't. I think at this point you'd be pushing much later in the day. Suns are setting as you walk over the large bridge over the Malja River. Quite a pretty sight. And eventually, it's dark by the time you get to the Hurricane. Wander through the secret painting in the back, down into the office, where there is a figure waiting for you, as you would in fact expect. I was going to call them M. They're called W. Your team is most
We are
currently
M.
being exactly. You find W sitting there, pouring through a couple of different books and things, and as you walk in, just like, everything okay?
Yep, problem solved.
Which problem?
The church one.
The church one.
Yeah.
Well, I say, rather fast.
It was an incontinent dragon. It's fine.
What?
Technically not a dragon.
Technically not a dragon. Would you be therefore referencing an Ophidian dragon?
Oh, Thessian
Yeah.
dragon. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, yes, I guess that makes sense. What do you do with it?
It died.
It was dying.
Yeah,
That's why it was incontinent.
shame. Well, if everything's square, I mean, I'll go by your word for now. I think you've got enough trust for the moment. I mean, worst case, I check in and you haven't done the job and I hunt you down. So, seems reasonable. Now, I believe it was 3,500, so with commission, that's 3,150. Puts a big sack on the table.
Hold on, I'm checking my records. Yes. 3,150.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I have to do math.
The difficult side of things.
Well, set aside the 150 is going into the ship's share, just to make it easier.
Right. So, you have been paid. W basically says, I mean, you've done this so quickly, I don't have anything else for you right now. So,
That's fine. We've got another job lined up anyway.
of course. Well, have fun.
Shall try. Let us know when you've got more for us.
And off you pop. As it is the evening, of course, there may be some things that you want to do, which could include going to shops, but I think we already thoroughly did that 2 sessions ago.
Yep.
I don't remember if there was anything extra. I know that, Rowan, you have that little figurine that you were going to look into. I don't remember if anyone else had anything else that they were planning on looking at, or if they were just chillax for an evening.
Probably just chillax and cook.
I will put my souvenirs in my room.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Wonderful.
I'm going to bake everyone some cookies.
Sure. You roll me a survival, because that's the closest to cooking. And Rowan, what are you trying to do to investigate this? Are you still writing things down?
Yeah, I do wanna figure something out with the statuette.
What's
Probably try to make a mold of a key.
Okay.
And then probably whittle it in wood first.
That seems perfectly reasonable. In which case, you have what tools are you proficient in? I forget.
I'm proficient in carpenters, thieves, wood carvers, and tinkers tools.
I'd say with enough of that, just make a roll with proficiency because it's sort of covered by the general.
I actually can be proficient with any tool because I have the all-in-one tool that when I change it, I become proficient in the tool.
Then just do a roll with proficiency for the sort of attempts to work out how the hell you'd make a key for this anyway.
Just with proficiency, or is there any skill associated with it as well?
I think because for now you're just using tools, we'll go with a tool check, but further to that, I may add in a skill check.
That is a 19.
Oh, 19's brilliantly good. Using various amounts of tools and things, you are able to, as you wished, use a sort of like putty type gum that you might have to sort of get a bit of a mold of the inside of the keyhole. It's a very simple keyhole. It's like like an old music box twisting. I mean, you take that out, super easy to recreate. In fact, you barely even need to make a key. It's just something that has a bit of a protrusion to be able to wind up your, well, I was going to call it a toy, figurine, whatever the hell it is. So yes, you carve one out. I think
Is
doesn't sound that
is that a new way to say it? Or not real quick.
do you wish to use it immediately, or
Yeah.
wonderful? Then, firstly, what was your survival roll, Cody, before I forget?
21.
21. Then you have some really lovely cookies whilst you do this.
Yeah, I do.
I'm not sure you want those cookies.
I don't
They probably
anymore.
don't, but she does.
Oh.
Oh, it's fine. You'll just react like your captain did.
You put the key into the statuette, the little figurine, and twist. And it's a couple of rotations before it is evidently as tightly wound as it could be. And it's quite a sweet and amusing sight in that it, with no particular scene to begin with, sprouts a couple legs. Not like legs as in it's come to life, as in like mechanical legs. You watch it as it makes a little bit of a plinky-plonky music sound, a tune that you don't particularly recognize, before eventually it slows and slows, and then almost comes to a stop, falls over, and then splits in two.
What the fuck?
Like a Russian doll.
What? But just like mitosis.
Two halves, and reveals on the inside a scroll.
Oh. Not rip.
You tear it in two?
Unfurl. Unfurl. Unfurl.
I'm going to send you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This little walking horror doll had something inside of it.
Niffy comes knocking on the door. Spinach, do you want some cookies?
1 second, I'm reading.
Do you want some cookies?
What kind of cookies?
Homemade.
Oh no. 1 second, let me finish this first. Actually, come in and see.
You do not read so much as see what appears to be a zoomed in section of a map with a little red X on it.
The fuck is that?
It was inside of the statuette.
It also has some symbols.
Up, down, left, right, select, start, and B? What does that mean?
If you're going by up and down, the first bit says up, down, up, down, and then 4 symbols that you don't recognize. They almost look like scribbles. They're not runic of anything you recognize.
And do a loop-de-loop and pull, and then rewind.
That one looks like it's got a tail. Maybe you've got to sit with a table and then your tail's got to go underneath you.
That sounds uncomfortable.
That one looks like a bit like a hook. Maybe we need to find a pirate with a hook.
I have no idea what to make of this. Except, an X means treasure. I know that.
I'm down for treasure. I'm always down for treasure. Do you want one of these?
Ozzy! Huh?
Do you want one of these cookies? Cookies, have
Yeah.
a cookie.
Yeah.
Have a cookie. I know where it is. I know where it is.
It's on the
in
Dingleberry.
Flueria bit.
The
Flueria.
Fluery?
Yeah.
It is. Oh, convenient.
Is that Marrow? I can't zoom in enough to find it.
That is near Marrow.
There you go. Near the waters by Marrow. I know that from my navigational shit.
Definitely not, because that's the only bit on this map that has a little dingly bit like that.
I memorized the map, and I know dingly bits very well.
The
I'm sure you do.
The northwestern part of Gear Faroum has a little dingly bit.
It's not in the same shape. The
Yeah,
one where
different-
Marrow is.
different
the
I
same
wasn't
shape.
saying that's where it could be. It's just Rowan said that that's the only bit on the map that has a little dingly bit.
Yeah, but that's like a obtrusive dingly bit. That's...
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3 dingly bits it could possibly be.
There's the bottom dingly bit off of Carmanthia near the Ferris and Pelion Sea as well. So, but that's nothing like it. Ozzy!
Ozzy!
Treasure!
Oh yeah, what's up?
Cookies!
Oh yeah, treasure.
There's a treasure map inside of this toy. What do you make
Oh,
of this?
does it say what the treasure is?
No, there's a red X on the map. And that always means treasure, right? You have a lot of experience being on the seas.
I mean, it's like have to be red and doesn't necessarily mean treasure. It's just like that's where you might find something. You know, it could be something that someone wanted to track down and go back for later, or like maybe the body of someone that they've murdered.
Why would you?
Could like where they think that they're.
If you murdered someone, why would you want to remember where they are?
Some weird killers like to go back to their burial site.
Because you might have like them in a battle, like you might have had to sink their ship and had to get out of there like quickly, and then you might go back later for the salvage.
Which means there's treasure on the ship.
I mean, maybe, but like not everything is waterproof or non-perishable. You know, it could be the site of.
Buddy, do you want a cookie?
Do I want a cookie?
Yeah.
I mean, I can mesh it around, but I won't taste it or anything. It'll just kind of fall out of my jaw. But if it'll make you feel better
see how it affects
for
you.
the effort that you went,
Yeah, I want you to eat one.
all right, no, take one. Yeah, it will immediately just fall out through the bottom of my mouth because that's all tendon and stuff I don't have. Just fall on the floor. Well, it feels a bit of a waste.
Do you feel any different?
Are you guys seeing the two halves of the statuette do the Macarena?
Hey, Macarena. Alright.
I thought that was the Mambo number 5.
What's the Mambo number 5?
Oh, well, if you have to ask.
I
It's
know the Mambo number 3.
sequel to the 4th. You guys want to go see what's on this red X? And also, do either of you know what these squiggly bits mean?
Yeah. Up, down, down, left, right.
Nope. Up, down, down, up,
Trigger,
up.
trigger. Square, X, triangle, circle. Start.
I'll let another look. Like, doesn't look all that familiar to me. As far as I know, let me think about it. Does it look at all familiar to me?
The map?
No, the squiggles. Or actually, I suppose both. Yeah.
The map is just a part of a map, and it's old. I would say give me a history in terms of just like the parchment and such like that. In fact, that would cover both that and the symbols, to see if you recognise them anyway.
Only a 6.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like old parchment. It could have been weathered on purpose to look old. I mean, there's possibly with a 6 a part of you that thinks this came out of a toy. It could literally just be like a kid's map, like in restaurants where you could get like a kid's placemat, which is a piece of paper that's just got a pirate shit on it if it's a pirate themed restaurant. It could be something as trivial as that, but it could be something actually worth looking at.
Oh, it's a cheat code to get a jetpack.
A jetpack?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Set.
So on this X, we'll find a jetpack
Must do.
if we use that code.
Yeah.
Guys, we gotta go check it out.
Let's go.
I still don't know what a jetpack is.
It's a pack
You
that
know?
has a jet on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fair assumption.
That's unclear still. But we'll need to like clear it with the captain. Have you asked him what he thinks?
He's had too many cookies.
Yeah, he's
again.
already ate half my pack of cookies.
Which you didn't tell him were special cookies.
Oh well, if the captain's happy to go, then sure.
Okay, but Ozzy,
Captain's happy to do whatever we decide.
I thought there was that old guy in town that you wanted to kill.
yeah, we can go kill that guy. We just need to look for his ship. But would it help if I told you that if we go over there, we can also visit my mom because she's kind of close by? I mean, at least if it's near Marrow, if that's what you're aiming for. We'll have to go a little more inland after that, but it's in that direction.
I mean, with the greatest will in the world, Pesto, it turns out that your mum is a statue, so she's unlikely to be going anywhere. So I'm
She's
not
not
sure
a
that's the biggest
statue.
time crunch right now.
I want to see your mum. I want
No,
your
that's
mum.
right. You described her as a boulder.
Kind of.
I still don't get how she's a stone. How would that work? Did you chisel her out of stone?
No,
And then decide she's your mum?
I'm trying to think how to explain this to you right now as my mental faculties are deprecating.
Do you want another cookie?
Yes.
That will help.
So, yeah, she's a boulder, but like a shiny boulder, and like a really warm boulder too, and she talks to you in your
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh, your mum is a volcanically active boulder. How does that work for like changing your nappies and stuff when you were growing up?
Well, she can talk to you in your head, and then she can also like control things with her head, which she doesn't have.
Did you ever have nappies?
Not really. We kind of just like we're in like a forest, so it's like not like there was anyone that I just kind of like the ground's like right there, you know.
I know.
I think I'm gonna crawl into my hammock real quick. I think I know you said that dinner was still on the way, but you made these cookies, and now I'm like,
Oh shit, dinner! And Nifu just went off
Smoke
to
pouring out of the front of the ship.
Nifu just went off to start dinner.
Pesto crawls into their hammock and curls into a cute little ball of fluff and goes to bed.
The evening goes along without a hitch as you're still in the port. No problems, no worries, and you have a nice long rest.
Woohoo!
Now, looking at this map in the morning, whilst you're not high off your tits, Niffy, give me a survival to try and work out, firstly, where it is, but secondly, how long it's going to take to get there.
Can I make my history check now?
Ooh,
That
that one's not as good.
Yes.
23.
I got a 14. Oh.
Painful 14.
14.
14 first.
Oh.
You... Well, actually, no, I guess we'll do the history first. You were just trying to work out the symbology and the general mappishness.
Yes.
The information of not having information through a lot of just interest in, rune language, just things, stuff, magic. You craft things which uses a lot of runes.
God, I love stuff.
There's a decent chance that these symbols are crude mimics of someone trying to remember Perwelven runic style stuff. But in the sense of, like, if someone who couldn't read a language saw a language once and then tried to rewrite it, it would kind of look a bit like this.
Like me trying to rewrite my name in Japanese.
Sure. Niffy, with your 14, you're pretty sure it's not a clear map and it's just an X. You assume, I don't know, there might be an island there. There could be just the sea. Who knows? Probably take about 12 days to get there on your ship.
Cool.
It's a long way. It's principally going across to the other continent. Your other option would be get an airship, teleport over to Marrow and Corral, but you have your ship, so it would take a lot of supplies. You probably have to resupply in Marrow fairly promptly after, but you have enough to get there. You've probably about 2 weeks of stuff.
We got stuff.
We got things.
Stuff and things.
We're set.
In which case, you set off at the beginning of a long journey. And let me just open up 12 days worth of travel. Now, I'm not going to individually do every single day. I will, however, do it in 3 chunks and allow you to do some larger things. For example, any of your magical ammunition, any larger rituals or preparations or anything along those sorts of things. That would be the time to do it. So we'll do it 4 days at a time. Within the first 4 days, what are people doing?
Well, I want to check to see if there's any spells that either of you have that you would like transformed into ammunition, either for yourselves to shoot or for our cannons to shoot.
Is there anything that you would want from my spell list? Is probably an easier way to put that, because I am fine for having things to do during combat. I am not at this point looking for more things to keep track of.
You already won the game, guys. Come on.
I don't know what's on your spell list.
Okay, here's a question then, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
A ship, does it count as an object?
I'm not going to say yes or no because I feel like that's going to be very context specific as to what you're trying to do.
Feel like a bullet that shoots a ship with the continual flame spell, and the ship itself is then covered in fire that doesn't go out, but doesn't hurt people would be really funny.
Okay, in this context, a ship does not count as an object.
Then at the moment, probably not. Oh, actually, yeah. Rowan, you might want to. This will be something I will propose to you, but you might want to have a think about. Is whether or not you want to put warding bond on something so that we can poke each other with it, and then have just a warding bond set up with whoever. But I don't know how that would work with you.
Niffy would not like to be poked by any of your instruments.
I don't know how that would work. That would be very much up to Alex.
I wasn't listening. Because she would just...
Warding bond. So if somebody were to fire a gun at somebody, I guess, or something, or like a smoke grenade is dropped, would the person that uses that gun / smoke grenade be the link of the warding bond to the person affected by said bullet or smoke?
I mean, yeah, probably the person who fired it, but in terms of, like, it affecting a singular person, you'd kind of have to fire it at the person, because it's a direct connection to be, like, one-on-one.
The other one is perhaps a smoke bomb of calm emotions.
That'd be cool.
That could be fun.
That's fun.
That does sound fun.
There you go. I will assist you with calm emotions of some kind.
What level is that spell?
2.
2. So therefore...
And it's on a... We said that a grenade of some kind, like a smoke grenade, would be small ammunition, right?
It's concentration up to a minute.
So second level is 250.
My costs and crafting time are halved because my artificer sheet.
Small, yeah, small's fine. I mean, it wouldn't really matter. You could do it on either anyway. Sure. So that would take 1 day and 4 hours.
I got one. Grenade of spike growth.
Fun.
Or you could do that within a bullet if you just wanted to shoot at the ground or something.
Ooh,
Because you'd have far more range out of a bullet than you would out of throwing a grenade.
Yeah.
Spike growth is also level 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So all in all, that would be 3 days, 250 gold, 2 spells, 1 on a bullet, 1 on a smoke grenade.
Remind me how casting time works with this?
For most of these, it'll so you wouldn't be able to put a ritual on to any of these, but most of these.
When you
spells
say a
are just-
ritual, is that any spell that has the ritual tag? Because casting something as a ritual just means that it takes an extra 10 minutes and doesn't use a spell slot.
Yeah. So things that are by default a ritual, or for example, in some cases you can cast a spell only as a ritual for your character rather than just as that spell.
Right.
Wouldn't be able to be infused because you are unable to generate it in the same way. I'll answer your question very simply. The casting time is when it's on ammunition because it costs gold anyway. The time is the same as it would to fire the gun or throw the grenade or whatever it would be. If it seems to be wholly unbalanced, then that's the problem. We'll sort it out later, but that should be okay.
Brilliant. Rowan, let's make loads of grenades of wedding ceremony.
We're going to be able to marry so many people
with bullets.
You
Boom,
two want to
you're
be
dead
married?
and also married.
So it costs gold to do these, isn't it?
Yes.
Where's that gold coming from?
I was going to take it from the ship pool.
Cool. That's what I was checking.
So
that
far,
was going to be my suggestion.
Your first 3 days you spend doing this, it costs 250 gold. And to write it down,
I'm also going to make 1 cannonball of pyrokinetics of the fireworks effect specifically.
Blimey. So that, what level spell is that?
Level 2 as well, so it's another of that.
Okay, so that's 4.5 days, 375 gold so far. Yeah?
Okay. Yes.
That's all fine. So for the calm emotions, the only thing that really it would just be the calm emotions happens where it lands or where it impacts, right? The spike growth would be the same.
Yeah, for all of these I have on impact.
Yeah, just impact location is where the radius center is fine for me. Or should I say, what's the other one? Not radius, twice that.
Diameter.
Diameter. Cool, wonderful. Well, the first 4 days are particularly calm. On the third day, as you're Moving across, you would have at this point travelled about a third of the distance, which you'd be solidly a bit northeast of the Macoris, which would be in the distance for you, but you might see out on the horizon the boggy and swampy lands that are the Macoris. But the third day, with calm seas, something interesting happens. You see, as let's say, Niffy, you're up in your crow's nest. You see the water on the. I was going to try and say the technical terms, but I can't remember. The right-hand side of the ship, port, starboard.
Point saying technical terms to me. I don't fucking understand them.
Right hand is starboard.
Okay, so on the starboard, you see the water doing something strange. The usual waves are whipping up against the side of the ship, nothing particularly aggressive, and then it's what appears to be almost like a small whirlpool, not aggressive and worrying thing. It's just like the water whips around in a circle a bit and then calms down and sort of happens again. Curious, I don't know if you'd immediately alert anything to this. It's not like, oh my god, we're all going to die. It's just a bit of an odd vortex of water.
Should probably shout down to be like, yo guys, look at the cool shit happening in the sea.
That's concerning.
No, it's cool.
I'll immediately grab my crossbow.
Sure.
Who can throw the stone into the middle? Do we have any stones?
Probably not.
I got like some metal scrap down below.
Don't do.
No.
Why
I
not?
don't want to use it.
I'm getting bored. I don't like travelling this long across the sea.
I've got to ask, Niffy, are you sure you want to be a sailor?
No.
This is going to be a really weird campaign.
Purdy's always like, I'm going to make a character who doesn't want to be here.
We can just drop you off at the next port if you want. Like, that's not a
We
problem.
need a navigator. And also Pumpkin's like my best friend.
You guys need a navigator and I need something to do.
We can hire someone who wants to, like, be here and spend time with us and do the stuff that we want to do.
I want to spend time with you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we
Why do you think I'm
we
here?
want to do that on the ocean.
As you're arguing, Pesto, you notice cresting over the edge of your ship, just the water has formed into what looks kind of dragon-like as a head.
Guys?
With these long, like, tendrils coming off its face, kind of like giant whiskers, I guess. This body, completely made out of water, that sort of comes up
Is this Gyarados?
and evidently sentiently just sort of looks at you curiously, keeping up with the movement of your ship.
Hello?
Look, I want to hang out with you guys, and if that means what the fuck is that?
Hi.
You can roll natures if you wish to try and know what this is.
Yeah.
7.
You don't know.
12.
13.
Oh, it's fine. It's just some sea hallucination. Just ignore it and it'll go away.
See, that's the thing. Like, why would you want to be on the sea if you hallucinate like this? At least when I get you guys to hallucinate, I have it as a controlled substance.
Like, it's introspective, isn't it?
Is it control?
Ish.
The captain on the ship looks over and says, now see, I've heard of these things. Don't worry, nothing to worry about. We're all safe. That right there is a water weird.
It is weird, and it is made of water.
Yeah.
But what the fuck
Yes.
is one of them?
I'll admit you're leaving my area of expertise, but I think it's just sentient water.
You have expertise.
Yeah, it's just a weird bit of water.
If you wish, my dear, you could take control of this ship and see how well you do.
I'm pretty sure I would do well at crashing it.
I tend to agree.
You tend to do it as well. Did we not have to repair recently?
That was weeks ago. Barely
It was like a couple days.
in the history worth noting. Yes, it is, I believe, an elemental of sorts, sentient and harmless. I think it's just curious.
Okay.
Cool. So anybody want to throw metal scrap?
No!
Yes, I think its curious nature might change if you throw metal at it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not at that. What sort of monster would do that?
I mean, you just suggested it. So I suppose you...
No, I was just talking about throwing metal scrap. Not at the thing. You guys are monsters.
My park, actually.
I mean, if you want to throw metal scrap at something, like, I think Pumpkin's around here somewhere.
You touch Pumpkin and watch what happens.
Pumpkin is flying, trying to like bite onto the wispy whisker type thing coming off it, just missing every time.
Leave it!
Just like hangs in the air, like with you shouting, flapping.
Leave it, no treats! Do you want a treat?
I think we should be extra careful that we don't impede on it at all.
I'm always extra.
What does that mean?
Oh, don't worry.
360. Okay.
If you leave it and don't interact, it gets bored after maybe 5 minutes or so. It appears on the left side of your ship, the right side, just looks around, never particularly touches. Just eventually seems to get bored and just disappear into the water.
At some point, Niffy will try and throw one of Pumpkin's treats for it.
You throw one of Pumpkin's treats. Pumpkin jumps after it and just gets like swallowed by the creature. But it's made of water, so he kind of just like plops out the other side.
That was not a good idea. I can't believe you'd have that idea, Captain.
What?
What?
Huh?
Supposed to be directing us. Ooh, I'm supposed to be controlling the ship. Runs away.
We need to go that way.
Why does it always seem like you're picking a random direction, Niffy?
I am using my mental.
Our navigator
compass.
says a 180-degree turn.
No!
Can you do that without questioning this, sea?
Looks around. Literally nothing around. I think I might be able to. Turns.
There's no confidence.
Besides, we know that the physics of this world just allow us to turn 180 degrees.
No, visually it comes
Yeah.
across as that, but that's not what you're doing. It's like HT posing again.
I'll go below to Pesto's workshop and say, look, if Niffy's going to be sticking around, maybe we should get her some, like, navigator's lessons or something. Because she just told us to do a 180-degree turn, and everyone knows you can't do...
I don't think some lessons can help her willing, rebellious nature. I think she does it completely on purpose, knowing that it's incorrect.
Oh, then we should probably get a new navigator then.
She hasn't done it when it's mattered yet.
So we skip the next 4 days. Are you going to? Well, so you've done most of that ammunition. The first half day would be continuing to do that ammunition creation. Anything over the next 4 days?
Niffy's going to ferment some of her herbs.
Ferment her herbs.
Does that just mean leave them in a pot and forget about them?
Yeah.
Yes.
The pot
No,
is
she-
rotted in the pot.
No, she's going to put them in some salt water.
To what end?
So they look like they're doing something.
I see. So to nothing. Just wasting drugs, effectively.
You're brining herbs in the hopes that they ferment.
Yeah, basically.
Sure.
It's basically all I do at work.
On the fourth
How
day,
concerning.
My true love gave to
not
me.
of Christmas, just of this adventure, you see up in your crow's nest a thing.
A thing?
You see a thing, Niffy.
A thing?
I see a thing. Have I took too many drugs?
A thing? No? Well, maybe. A thing that is another boat.
Oh.
Psst. Guys!
You whisper from 100 feet up.
No. She's doing that horrible, like, whisper shout thing. Like, it's actually a shout, but she's making it sound like a whisper.
To whisper a shout 100 feet away. I don't even know how you would do that.
Guys!
Pumpkin tries to help by flying down, flies most of the way down, gets distracted, and then just flies off.
Fuck's sake, Pumpkin. She'll grab a handful of nuts and just throws it at Ozzy.
Ozzy, there's a clattering sound as nuts go through your ribcage.
Oh fuck, how did those go through my armor, Niffy?
They go through like
I'm like
Yeah.
covered in
gap at the top.
steel and like fabric and stuff.
Just go through the gap where your neck is.
On the horizon?
I mean, Could you save that kind of magic for when we're shooting cannons at people? Be really useful.
No, it's not fun then.
I mean, it might make you survive a fight.
I have survived fights, thank you very much.
Yeah, obviously. I'm saying about in the future.
Enough of this arguing. We may have to fight in a minute anyway. There's a bear on the horizon.
Right, Captain, permission to engage.
Wait, no, don't fight Niffy. Don't fight Niffy.
No, engage the ship.
Oh, you're gonna get engaged to the captain. I always knew you two were lovers.
You got those bullets of marriage. Just to clarify, what do you mean by engage?
Like, go up to the other ship, board them, board the crew, take all of their precious belongings, and then carry on.
No. See, we can go alongside, greet them, and see if we need to attack them.
Or we could completely ignore them and keep going.
That is another option.
Or we can shoot them with bullets of marriage, make them marry each other.
Why
For the fun
would we
of it.
need... Why?
Because it'd be fun.
We don't have bullets of marriage. We only theory crafted that. We didn't actually craft it.
Oh my god, I'm bored of being at sea!
You literally get high every night. How are you bored?
Every day. Every night. Every hour. Every second. Do you want a cookie?
No.
Or maybe that's what you're bored of then. Maybe you should stop getting high.
Yeah, that'll give you something to do.
If you're doing it all the time, that sounds like it'd be quite boring. Lose its mystique.
No, I don't. No. Ugh.
Sorry, chaps, just to check in on this. Are we ignoring the ship or am I sailing towards it? I know I am the captain and you'll ask, but it's a democracy here.
I don't know, Captain. It seems like it's completely up to you.
Yeah, it's completely up to you.
Yeah, you're the captain. You have to make the decision.
That's my decision is that you three shall make this decision. It's called
Shit.
delegation.
Shit, he fucking got us
All right.
there.
In that case, I think that we should go and attack it and take all their stuff.
We should burn it down.
I do not.
Seems 2 outweigh 1.
That is 2 versus 1.
That was 2 for destroy their ship.
Well, me and Pumpkin count as 1 each, and me and Pumpkin say don't.
You look over, Pumpkin's licking his butthole.
Yeah.
My toys also count as 1 each.
Like, we've been pretty clear throughout everything that none of those things count. They don't get a vote or a share of the gold unless their respective owners do that themselves.
Actually, you know what? I rescind my vote. I want to see what their ship's name is, and then I'll decide.
Ooh, good point.
You look through your telescope. You see, it is called the Traveller.
I don't give a shit.
Oh, shit name for a ship. Bit on the nose.
Yeah, they sound bad. They sound boring.
Do they though?
They probably only have like apples or something on board.
A pretty good cover though. If they've done that on purpose to make themselves like a bit under the radar.
Do you think anyone ever looks at our name and go, they're boring?
Hell no.
No, we've got a cool name.
Yeah, we're the raddest shits around.
Are we though?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a rat shit.
I'm fine to let him pass. I
For
don't
all
care.
of this conversation, that ship is now heading towards you.
Oh. What the hell? Wait, are they coming out of... To war positions!
Oh, right.
I don't know if this is a threat.
Niffy stands there with a white flag.
What? No! Wait, no, that's a good idea. If we surrender, it'll make them feel like they could come on board and then we can kill them when they try to step away.
That's not very
Exactly.
honourable.
Yeah, I believe that's against the convention of the sea. I think that's called a war crime. To do a false surrender.
And?
Has anyone got any proof?
It's kind of like anyone who attacks me is committing a war crime because I'm a medic. That's why I have such an easy time killing people because they're not allowed to attack me.
We may be pirates, but we are not savages.
Captain, I am indeed a raccoon. I think I'm allowed to be a savage.
I'm high on life. I can be savage.
I'm confused. Are we attacking the ship or not?
I don't know. It kind of sounds like they're coming at us
No,
now.
you didn't want to.
You hear in the distance because it's now got close enough because you've been fucking around. Just hear a voice that goes, "Hey,
Hey!
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 What's your name?
that's Riku!
Fuck you, Ezekiel!
As you get closer, there's just a very plain-looking dude, human or elf, you can't really tell from this distance, but humanoid, pale skin, just at the front, just shouting over towards you, just,
Hey!
Uh,
as you eventually just cruise on next to each other and stop. It's a smaller ship than your own. Not by much, but a ship of maybe 4 or 5 people. None of them look particularly, let's be honest, interesting. They're dressed in nicer clothing. They have fancy hats and some nicer jackets and such. Seemingly proficient. It doesn't look like a cargo ship. It doesn't look like they could be carrying much other than their own, provisions. And as you pull up alongside, they're like, "Have you seen an island?"
I've seen many.
Oh yeah, I've seen loads of islands.
yeah, we've been sailing for a while.
What a specific. So we have a map, and we're looking for an island.
Can I have a look at the map?
Yes. Holds it up. You're quite far away. You can get your telescope out. It's the same map that you have, with an X, but without all the writing at the bottom.
Huh, no, don't know. I don't know where that is.
Yeah. Could have sworn it was around here somewhere.
Oh, actually, let me have a look at it again, please.
It's the thing.
Yeah, that looks like it's near Torn.
Where the fuck is Torn? Where's Torn?
It's near Dino Faro.
Where's Dina Faro?
You're going in the completely
What the
wrong
fuck?
direction. It's up south.
Up south?
Up south? What?
Can we speak to the navigator, please?
I am the navigator.
She is our navigator.
Oh no.
My controller just got my words wrong. It's up north.
Hey, counterpoint, do you know how many days off from Elesduin we are? That's where we're headed. Yeah, trying to make them completely discount us.
No, you're going the wrong way.
But she said...
Do you want some cookies?
You need to be going down west.
What's happening?
You know what?
Hey, let me send my dragon over with some cookies.
Dragon?
Damn it.
The ship just immediately anchor up and start sailing away.
I've already tied the box of cookies to it.
Don't worry about
Pumpkin.
it.
Fuck you, Ezekiel!
Pumpkin's on the way to give him cookies.
Pumpkin's on the way to get cookies, gets halfway, has already eaten all of the cookies,
Oh no.
Oh shit.
gets distracted,
Pumpkin falls in the seas and dies.
gets distracted, flies back. By the time they've got back, completely affected, just lands on the deck, wings out on his back, just staring into the sky. Full expanded cat eyes.
This is why you shouldn't eat my treats. Keep telling you this.
Tongue out. The sip shells off.
I mean, at least they're going in the wrong direction.
That is unless we're going in the wrong direction.
No. We know where we're going. Right, Neffy?
I am going to roll a survival to make sure we're doing the right direction.
Natural one.
That's a 19.
You think so?
Cool. We're going in the right direction. I think.
We're going in the right direction. Are we just not going to talk about how they have the same map that we do?
Yeah, but they didn't have our cool writing stuff that we don't know what it says.
Yeah. Alright. Well, maybe there's not even an island. Maybe we just have to swim down.
Exactly.
Or sink.
So we'll just send Ozzy.
Yeah. Well, we can all go, right? We all have our gear.
Sure.
That did not sound very confident.
That's because Purdy's not. I can't remember what gear I've got.
The final 4 days. Is there anything you would like to do?
How are my pickled herbs going?
Salted.
They're pickled.
Well, they're not pickled because you never put them in like vinegar or anything. You just put them in salt water.
Yeah, they're not pickled or fermented. They're just brined.
Yeah.
You do know you can ferment using salt and water, right?
But can you ferment using salt water?
I mean, I'm sure you can ferment some things, but probably not herbs. I don't think people get basil and make it into fermented wine of any sort.
No, but we do with bananas.
You would probably need more than.
Yes. But you see, you didn't say you were putting a banana in there.
No,
You
no, I
said you're
didn't.
putting
I said
herbs in
herbs.
there. Yes, which is so. Therefore, your whole argument, if you can ferment things with salt water, falls a little bit on itself.
Whatever. She's gonna start trying to dry them out then.
Okay, you should salt the herbs. Niffy, something disastrous happens on the 10th day of this journey.
I burn my cookies.
You do burn your cookies, and those cookies are your last supply of drugs.
What the fuck?
It's been 10 days. You've run out.
I told you you've been going way too hard on your cookies. Way too high. You're getting too high on your own supply.
No, you don't understand. I don't do sober.
Well, you're doing sober right now,
No.
aren't
It's
you?
exceptionally concerning to hear the navigator say that.
Well, I'm sure that will not be a problem going forward.
These need to dry out fast.
Guys, I
You
have
don't
a new glove.
Understand. That's cool, but that's not what I need right now. You don't understand. I need more herbs.
I'm gonna go back to my room. Talk to Lem if you need something from me.
She picks up Lem, shakes them, going, I need herbs!
Just completely limp.
I need herbs. You won't like me when I'm sober.
Not doesn't sound like you now.
You have never known me sober, you won't like it!
You say to a stuffed sheep that is not responding in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. She's
It's
definitely
not-
got all crazy professor in the corner going, telling you, Lem, you won't like it. You've never seen me sober.
I like to imagine you've got all of Pesto's toys, and now you're like army commando chief with a ball, just like this is how we're gonna get them all. Listen up.
Level up, soldiers, she says with a pot on her head.
The next 2 days, I'm sure, are hell. Before your navigator lands you in Galadofir.
Crashes out.
Um,
Oh. Wait, we are going to Elizabeth?
As you sail closer and closer to the spot on the map, slightly losing your mind from being sober, you see in the distance, Niffy,
What's she doing over there?
an uncharted island.
Niffy's kind of like twitching. Niffy's coming up to you and she's twitching. She's like, I see it. I see it.
Jesus.
I feel like there is more going on than just even Pumpkin's concerned.
Right, we'll find you a nice, comfy room somewhere, really well petted, where they'll let you go out on nice walks every so often. They'll give you a really comfy jacket to wear, and then we'll get a new navigator.
Have they got herbs there?
You
You're not replacing
Yeah, probably.
me. Nobody's replacing me. I can't be replaced. But I see it.
No, we could never find a navigator exactly like you, just kind of like you.
Only in the ways that don't matter.
I see it.
They'll only have similarity to you in that they'll be able to navigate, because we'll make sure they're
See
also
it.
not a drug addict.
See it. I see it.
Yeah? You've been saying that for the past 3 days, Niffy.
There.
You look over, she's actually pointing at an island this time.
Oh shit, there's an island.
See? I told you. I told you wouldn't like me when I'm sober.
I mean, you did the right thing when you were sober this time.
Fuck you all.
Maybe you're starting to like come down from it.
I don't think so. I don't think one comes down from being sober. I don't know that that's how it works.
I don't know. Well, that land is a hoe there, so I think we should go aboard.
No, I think you've
call
got
me a
confused.
hoe?
You don't call the land a-ho. You say land ho.
Oh, why?
No, ho.
Fuck you, you're the hoe.
Damn it.
I do feel like I'm embodying my father pretty well.
Ooh. Ooh, why is it land ho?
Good question.
Because it's better than a sea hoe.
Ah, mermaid.
Captain, please don't run into rocks this time when we stop on this island.
You can trust me.
I'm captain, I don't crash.
No, yes, you see, you're not the captain. I'm getting very concerned about her. The island doesn't look particularly large. It's large enough to hold maybe a city on it, but not much more. It appears to be some sort of isolated rainforest jungle of some kind.
Ah, yes, an isolated rainforest.
Since all you can see is two separate adjectives, you can see in the distance is just a number of trees all the way to the cliff edges at the sides of the island. Navigator, if you have a moment of sobriety, could you do a survival check?
Unfortunately, she does, and she's not sleeping very well, and she's cranky as fuck. And she gets a natural 1.
You have no idea where to port up. There's a cliff. Fuck everyone.
Yeah, she really just doesn't give a shit. She's too fucking sober to care.
We'll do a helmsman check. You go over towards just the cliff face. It's quite a tall cliff face, a few hundred feet up. And seeing as your navigator couldn't find any spot better, you start to cruise in. Your captain confident that, well, it's got to be deep water over here, because if there's a cliff over there, then that means that... Found the land!
You are fucking shit at your job.
I mean, to be fair, you weren't doing much better at yours.
Well, get fucked.
Lucky for both of you, I'm quite good at mine, and I'll be back in a few minutes. How much damage do I need to repair?
Only about 15.
Oh, okay.
It's superficial. It's ugly on the outside, but it's superficial.
A bit like Niffy.
If we wait a little bit, it might upgrade and be ultra official.
So you are up against a rocky cliff face, anchored down to hold the ship in place. But since you were unable to find anywhere that would be better for mooring, you're not really sure how to get up, unless you of course have any bright ideas.
Well, I have a climbing speed, so later, y'all.
Well, I can fly.
I
climb
pull
it.
out my ladle and step onto it.
It's true. So you can fly on the ladle. I believe Monty can fly with boots.
And Avi is left behind.
Pesto can climb, but it would be a long way to climb. You'd be very tired by the time you got to the top.
It can do it as easily as walking.
No, but yes. Like, mechanically, yes, but there's a certain point that you would stop being able to climb. Don't give me those... yes, that's just the truth. So how's Ozzy potentially going to be getting up?
I mean, I'm the bosun, so really I should stay with the ship. So have a nice time, everyone. I'd need the captain to tell me to come with you. And he's being quite quiet.
Ah, wonderful. Come with us.
Oh, okay. Could I hike a lift off someone?
Would
I think I'd struggle to carry you.
would Pumpkin be able to carry him?
I don't believe so, but the combined efforts of you flying on your ladle, Monty flying with his boots, and Pumpkin flying with wings could probably be enough to pick up Ozzy and just carry you up.
Okay, that's how we do it.
I feel like the three of you flying is probably enough.
How difficult is this ladle thing? Because if you can just go up and then drop it down to me, then I could just do that if that's easier.
Yeah, about to say I can send it back down to you. Just don't break it, otherwise I'll break you.
You can throw it off the edge of the cliff.
No, I can actually send it flying to something.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yeah, it's a reskin broom, right?
Yeah.
You can send it on like a fetch quest.
That's hilarious. Sure. Then in a combination of one of those things, you all float your way. Well, I mean, Pesto climbs. So the three of you get to the top. Ah, yes, we've just flown to the top nice and easy. And then a few minutes later, Pesto clambers over the top, You've just climbed like 200 to 250 feet. You are exhausted. I don't care if you have like a climb speed. It would be tiring to do so.
Climb speed be damned.
You can climb the climb speed. It's not climb speed be damned. But there is just a certain point that in any realistic situation you can't climb forever.
If it starts taking too long, I'll send the ladle on another fetched quest.
It literally would take not that long. It would take, however, you go up at 60 feet, right? Actually, if you're hauling Ozzy, I'd be there the same time you are.
No, I'd be there first and then send it back for Ozzy.
Then I'd be there when Ozzy gets there.
Cool.
Sure. You're still going to be tired. It's not going to be an effect of anything that affects you. I'm combating your idea that someone climbing a couple hundred feet doesn't get tired regardless of whether or not they are good at climbing. It doesn't matter in any way. I'm just confused as to why you think that people wouldn't be tired.
I'm sure people would be, but creatures that are like...
Spinach can't be.
Creatures that do it naturally, I don't know. I'm not a raccoon or a creature that can climb distance, so I wouldn't know.
Naturally?
I love the definition that you're not a raccoon. Just in case any of us didn't know.
Oh shit, this whole time I thought...
Rowan, we were saving that reveal for Patreon. So, I guess...
yeah, cut that out.
If you are not part of our Patreon, you could have found this information out early for that reveal if you were to subscribe to our Patreon.
Well, in all honesty, I thought you were 3 raccoons in a trench coat.
I wish I was.
So you're at the top of the cliff. When you get...
Pesto, you look so tired, mate.
I guess I am. I didn't think I would be, but... You know, I used to climb trees all the live long day, but...
You need to practice your climbing more.
Rough.
I mean, your mum is a rock, so...
I mean, I could have gave you the ladle.
It sounds like an offense. When you get to the top of the island, you are met by a surprising darkness, owing to the thick canopy of tall trees above you. The ground is carpeted with large fern-like plants and bushes, making traversal and perception quite difficult, especially at a little raccoon's height.
If spinach goes on my shoulder, are we then the height of a normal person?
Never is the height of a normal person.
She's 5 foot.
Are you claiming that 5 foot isn't the height of a normal person?
Normal people can be 5 foot.
You claim that 5 foot is not the height of a normal person.
No, but this means you're accepting that 5 foot isn't the height of a normal person.
I'm just going off the GM's logic. GM thinks 5 foot is not the height of a normal person.
What?
Purdy, you've got it the wrong way round. Pesto can climb up a 5 foot person, but they'll be tired when they get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
As you stand in the brush listening to the cacophony of birdsong and animal calls, you recognize a much more rhythmic and drum-like sound penetrating this natural chorus.
I think I'm going to climb back down the cliff just to time
Yeah, I'm
myself
going to go
out.
back to the boat.
You will be tired by the time you get down.
What? Fine, I just jump off and die.
Yeah, if you just fall, then you won't be tired by the time you get to the bottom.
You're so right. I won't be tired.
You'll be flat.
Hey, navigator, where are we on this map? What direction do we need to go in?
I got a 28. Do I know where we are on this
Just to
map?
take us towards that drumming sound.
Which map? The map with the X on it?
Whatever map are you showing me?
Which map are you showing?
You have all the maps. You're the navigator.
You just said
I
this
did mean
map.
the one with the X on it.
Right, okay.
The one with the X on it, the X doesn't have any island or anything. You are not zoomed. It is not close enough or zoomed in or detailed enough to have an island on it. You're presuming that this island is where that X is, because it's pretty much in the same space. But in terms of navigation on the island, not much to do.
My 28 says that.
Wait, so how will we know? Is that just because of what's currently around us that we've seen? Or
What is? Where is the confusion? At what point are you?
so if we can't tell based on what's around us if we're on the map, is that because of what's around us, or is that because the map has no relation to graphical surroundings and therefore we won't know when we're on the map?
So the map has land on it. Have you seen the picture of the map in the chat?
I have. It is a bitch and a half to load up because
Okay, fine.
the Chromebook really hates Discord.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So I have a massive look at it. But
The
yes, I have seen that.
It has land on it, which you correctly worked out is the edge of Floaria, or one of the sort of extensions of Floaria. So therefore, referentially, your navigator took you to where that X would be. Where that X would be is now an island. But that X is an island. It is not a map of an island.
Gotcha. That map is a section of a scaled out map. It is not a section of a scaled in map. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So this island is supposedly special according to that map, but other than that, we don't know anything else.
Well, we've gone up, so now we should go down, and then up, and then down. And then we'll probably be at some like Perwelvin temple type thing or something. I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
Well, hang on. Before we go, I'm just going to take 10 minutes to try and do some magic to help us, if that's all right.
Sounds good to me.
I guess I'll allow it.
Who put you in charge?
I will ritually cast Detect Magic, which I have called Sense Magical Aura.
Okay. Within 30 feet, other than your compatriots, you do not see anything magical.
That's fine. It lasts for 10 minutes.
Yep. So which direction are you going?
Down.
You're on seemingly a flat.
Mm.
Follow the flat till we need to go down.
Mm-hmm.
I say let's go straight up.
You could head directly into the forest and see what happens. Just pick a random direction. The only things of note, as I said, well, I guess I can highlight are the cliff that you have just climbed up, a drumming sound that you can hear coming from within, let's say, sort of forwards and right.
Right.
And then just a bunch of trees and stuff. So you
I
could
guess
go
we
the
should
opposite
check
direction.
out that sound, huh?
Maybe we need to stay away from the sound.
I mean, this could be the lair of a legendary beast. Some people say that there is a creature made of plant stuff that resembles a gorilla, but it plays the drums, and that's like its whole thing. Gorilla booming sound.
You trying to hit like guerrilla warfare or something?
You're talking about Bigfoot?
I don't know what you'd be referring. I'm talking about a gorilla booming sound.
You want
It's
about
like
the
a dress.
drums?
Donkey Kong?
Drums?
This is
a gorilla that plays the drums that's made of grass. Come on, people.
genuinely nothing. This has not sparked a single neuron in my brain.
That shows how popular of a Pokemon it is.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I still have no idea what Pokemon that
It
is.
was a
It's
starter,
Rillaboom.
people.
It's Rillaboom.
Rillaboom, a gorilla booming sound. It's a gorilla made of grass and leaves and stuff.
It certainly is. Well,
It plays the
damn.
drums. That's its whole thing.
I think it may have been more effective over text chat.
So which direction are you going?
Towards the Rillaboom, I think.
The gorilla booming sound is legally distinct.
Yeah.
As you wander towards the noise, you eventually can see a clearing in the brush up ahead. If you want to get closer for good details, you'll have to do a stealth. But from where you are, you can see there's certainly a large fire built up and figures surrounding said fire. And the drumming is most certainly coming from this location. Potentially through the brush, you can see there might be some kinds of buildings or tents or something like that. But you would have to stealth to get closer, or if I guess you don't have to stealth, you could just walk over and see what it is to get any specific details.
What do you think we should do, Captain?
I think it is up to the team. Democracy.
You don't normally do democracy.
Democracy.
Oh, today I am particularly hungover from all of your drugs.
It's been like 3 days. Oh god, no, not here, not now.
You taking my drugs?
No, I found a crumb of a cookie still left over. Didn't realize what it was. Nibbled on it.
And you didn't give it to me.
Oh, it was a cookie you gave me.
Fuck you.
Oh, it's because gifts are no longer gifts. I feel like Niffy's one step from just licking random mushrooms and hoping.
To be honest, I was so close to making a nature check to see if she could find any drugs in the wild.
Problem.
I would like to send
The
Lem.
figures that we've been able to see, Alex, so far, rough stature, and do they seem armed?
Certainly humanoid. The problem is there's a bunch of fern and vegetation in the way to determine any specific details, but certainly humanoid, 2 arms, 2 legs, a body. It's hard to tell if they're armed or if they're holding on to, I don't know, ceremonial things or, like staffs, stuff like that. Certainly some of them are holding things. Whether or not it is weapons, you cannot tell. You can't hear, the clanging of metal or anything.
And no magical auras present.
Within, I would say you're further than 30 feet from where they are. Getting closer, like I said, would involve stealthing unless you are happy to just wander in and potentially be seen.
How far
I
are
think
they?
we just wander in.
I'd say you're about 50 feet away. You're not
I
too
will
far.
send Lem.
Sure. Lem flies up through the trees.
Nope, that's Olive that flies.
That's Olive, of course.
Lem's the sheep.
Lem's the sheep.
Even I know that one.
Well, does Lem do a stealth?
They can do a stealth, but more so when they get within seeing range, they can just fall prone and look like a normal stuffed animal.
Which would be perfectly normal to find around here. So Lem
More normal than an animated one.
I don't know. Would they presume it's just an animal? A cuddly anyway, wanders over. And when getting close enough, nice and small, can get underneath some of the brush and see a bit more, you can see it is a bunch of frog-like humanoids of some kind. The fire in the middle is in fact a large bonfire. The around the outside are tents, and they are in fact dancing to the sound of drums, played by 1 or 2 of them, just holding some drums. Seeing through Lem's eyes, give me a bit of perception.
With my... yes.
With your perception, most likely.
11.
It's not great. I would say the only thing you notice, because it particularly stands out, is that one of the creatures is obviously more important than the others, as they're wearing a more vibrant headdress and have a glowing purple gem around their neck, which is pulsing gently with magic.
They got a gem. A purple glowy one.
Whether it is important or not, you don't know on the spot, but it is the only thing that looks magical.
It looks important. It looks magic.
It was important enough to be mentioned.
Yes. It's the only thing I truly noticed.
Let's go kill them and get it.
What?
You heard?
Any feedback to this information, Ozzy?
Well, how many are there?
12.
12.
We can take them on.
And how big are they?
They're just like little frog people, right? Are they grown?
Medium-sized.
Yeah. They're
Give me a nature, if you recognize what they are.
Well, there's sprung and there's bullywugs. I don't know which is which from here.
15.
With a 15, they're not grung. They are bullywugs.
They're bullywugs.
Right. And are there like young bullywugs and stuff there?
Didn't you say?
No.
Just 12
Right.
grown bullywugs.
And are there like weapons and stuff and magic and stuff happening?
Well, the one's got the shiny gem. They probably got magic if I were to take a guess. The other ones are just... 2 of them got drums, and the other ones were hanging out.
Right.
I didn't see weapons, right?
You didn't ask.
And you said that there's like structures and stuff.
There's tents.
Just tents. Okay. Right, well, we can assume that this is some kind of like scouting party or perhaps a raiders band. If there's no like old ones, like hanging around, like sitting down along with like children, then we can assume that this isn't their like main base. So there's almost certainly more of them who'd be quite upset if we killed these people, probably. So I guess it's like, how much do we want a purple glowy gem that we don't know anything about? Also, they're not necessarily going to be super hostile to us, so we could always just try and talk to them. And then if we want to kill them, we can. but we might lose any element of surprise. So technically, I guess it just boils down to how much we want a glowy gem.
Let's kill them.
Niffy, are you sure you're not just like hangry because of the drugs?
I'm just angry, not hangry.
We could at least go ask him nicely to give it to us.
I mean, we should probably ask what it does first.
Let's just kill them. I mean, Ozzy, you're normally the first one to say let's kill people. Why the fuck are you not saying let's kill people?
I mean, I said that we can just go in and kill them, but I was asked for feedback, so I gave my full assessment.
Well, we're looking for the stuff on the map, right? So maybe we ask them if they recognize these symbols at all, and then if they could like point us to somewhere on the island that has symbols similar to them, and then we go from there. And whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
If we can communicate with them. I don't have any spell that does that today, so we could always come back tomorrow if they're still here if you want.
Yeah, they're not animals, otherwise I could speak to them.
Oh, no, don't open OBS. That's not what I wanted to open. Stop that. Fuck.
Does OBS stand for Only Bullywug Speaking?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it stood for something different.
What did you think it stood for?
Only butt sick.
What?
Look, I've had a lot of sugar today. My head is all over.
Yeah, that's like your 7th lollipop.
And I've had a can of Monster.
What the I could, yeah, if I come back tomorrow, I could have a thing that,
I mean, if we do that, you will still be quite tired from having to climb all the way up that cliff again.
I know, right?
I mean, why don't you just learn to climb better?
You know, it feels pretty natural, but I don't know. I don't think I can do it any better. Let's just go try to ask him, I guess.
So hung up on the...
Right, off we go, and I shall stride forward.
You stride forward. Wonderful. You clear into the clearing, busting out through the...
Busting. We're busting.
We're
busting out. The bony boy busting out through the brush.
I mean, I won't burst out. I'm not the fucking alien from Aliens.
It is somewhat of a record scratch moment. It goes very silent as soon as they see you, because you are obviously very different. There's a pause as they kind of just sort of look to one each other like, I don't know how to deal with this as a situation, before you see them reach over, or move outwards and reach over into tents and things and pulling out weapons, slowly, not aggressively, as the one with the purple gem seems to step forward as though perhaps the leader of a group.
Hi.
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 So sort of comes in parallel with Ozzy, while the others sort of gather around behind. It's about 20 feet away. Not got too close, and just sort of pauses. And you say hi, and they make a kind of grumbling ribbit kind of sound in response.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you get all that, Pesto?
Yes. Mm-hmm. They said hello.
Right. Hi guys, could you like show us where this place is? Like, we've got some writing. So if we show you that, can you show us where we might find it? You want to get out the map?
Yeah. And I just point to the symbols on the right side there.
Are you getting closer, or are you seeing if they get closer?
If they get closer.
I'll just hold it and like gesture to hold out where we are.
Sure. Then the one with the purple gem proceeds towards you to look closer at this map, because 20 feet is quite a far distance to see, especially when your eyes are like that far apart, as is a bullywug. And as they get within about 10 feet, Ozzy, you definitely notice you've got a high passive perception, but I reckon the others of you would as well. This glowing gem, as you get closer, etched into it, has the same, well, not the same, much nicer drawn 4 symbols that are the same as the 4 symbols that are on your map. And they seem to look at it, evidently recognize, grumble and grip it a little bit, and then wait, as if they've just said something to you.
Right, what are they saying, Pesto?
I don't know.
Why don't you know?
Why would I know?
I'm trying to think of what we can do.
Their gem has the symbols on it.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'll like point at the gem, and then I will point at the ground, motion putting down and see what they do.
They recognize you pointing at the gem, and then you point at the ground, and they seem confused.
And if you would just point out, it's shaking her head.
They sort of like, almost unintentionally seem to mimic your shake, just confused as to what is happening.
I pull out the potion of stone, and I offer it to them, and it's like, this for the gem. This.
Looking close at your potion, I forget how that one looks, but it's certainly a potion in a bottle. Of course, they have no idea what it is. They attempt to, like, take it from you.
Sure.
Yeah, just has a look at it, swishels it around a little bit, and it sort of, like, glows a little, evidently showing it's magical, and they're like... They put the bottle down on the floor. He then removes this amulet, puts it down on the floor, but, like, puts his foot just on it, and puts up a single finger.
One. Another thing.
Sorry, was the amulet what had the stone?
Yeah, so it's the stone is the amulet, as in there's just, like, a string attached to it to put it around the neck.
I will take out my ghostlight stone and put that down.
They put their hands on the hips and just shake their head. Behind, they all pull out like 4 ghost lights. We've been tricked by that one before.
God damn! I mean, these people must all be undead as well. These people must be undead as well, because I've only ever seen undead make them look like that.
Oh, that's very funny.
No. You put down the ghost light, which does seem to intrigue them, but his foot doesn't come off the stone. It seems like he's gesturing like, it ain't fair yet.
I have stuff on this bag. Do you think that they'd like any dogs? I could give them a dog. Well, I could give them 2 dogs.
You know what?
Why we got dogs?
Don't worry about it. Do you think they want a dog?
Yeah, I think they do, actually.
The fuck? Why do we
Once
get dogs for?
I take the patch off, we just have 2 dogs. So if they don't want it, we're then stuck with 2 dogs.
The ship's already a zoo.
Why the fuck?
Wait, actually, the problem is how do we get them back onto the ship?
Where did we get 2 dogs from?
Part of my code. Don't worry about it.
The fuck? What's going on?
They're magic dogs.
You ever hear that old like wives' tale about there's 101 Dalmatians and this lady tries to make them into a coat? Well, my dog is made with 2 mastiffs, sort of. But I can take them out from the coat, so don't worry about it.
Alright, I pull a whole glaive out of the bag and put that down next to the potion.
Yeah. You see a couple of them are holding. I think they might be holding glaives. There's a few of them are holding glaives, but they look at their glaives, and they look shit compared to your glaive. And then there's a couple of them who are just like poking each other, like, no, that's mine. I'm gonna have that. I'm like,
Wow. I will sweeten the deal with a great sword.
Oh, hell yeah.
You put down a great sword, and he's like, and releases his foot off the stone.
Yeah. I reach for it.
Yeah, and then a couple of them come over and grab. You see, they're really interested in these weapons, like compared to what they have, which isn't like crude, horrid weapons, but they're metal. They're just damaged. They're old. They've evidently, seen. They're worn. The handles are mostly like wrappings and rope, but it's falling off. They really like the idea of these new and much more shiny weapons. And take whatever. I think you put a ghost light in there, and also a. What was the first thing?
Stone potion.
The potion of stone.
Yes.
The thing that is essentially poison.
They take them all and back away, still watching you. It's just a distance over by their fire.
Good doing business with you.
That was too easy.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
As they've backed off and you're now looking more generally at them and you see them walk off with their weapons, you get a little bit more of a closer look at the encampment and notice a couple of slightly concerning things. Number one, on top of the fire, a lot of humanoid corpses. And secondly, these tents, mostly made of some kind of humanoid skin.
Oh!
Yeah, but what was the concerning thing?
What I've written is, you can see the tents are made of humanoid skin, and in some cases the faces are visible, like adornments to the homestead.
Oh. Well, I'm a raccoon. I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't have skin.
Two of you don't have skin, one of you's a raccoon.
I was about to say,
Wait, who's
two
the other
of us,
person who
and
doesn't
I
have skin?
realized you were talking about Mark.
Oh, right.
Who would have changed what he looks like by now?
If he turns into a
So-
bodywug, that would be very funny.
He now
That would
looks
be-
like... Oh, just a dwarf. He's dwarf size, dwarf thickness. Yeah.
Mm.
They're just watching you. Evidently don't want to turn their backs on you.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Mm.
As you hold the gem in your hand,
Yes.
you can feel it pulling you slightly into the forest. It's not forceful,
Yes.
and it is most certainly not able to force you to move, but it seems to be suggesting a direction.
Guys, I know where we have to go next. Follow me.
Normally I say that I'm the navigator.
And Alex, how big did you say it was? Was it roughly the size of an
It's roughly the size of an apple, but flatter.
word?
Wait, it's the shape of the apple.
No. That was silly. No, it's kind of just fist-sized but flat.
Yeah, like an apple.
In the forest.
Don't you want to figure out what it says first and identify it?
We could, but let's at least move in the direction and get away from their encampment first.
Right, sure.
Did you bring Pumpkin with you?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you can make Pumpkin appear and disappear at will. So you don't have to worry about, he's on the ship, so therefore we can't get him.
No, I would have left him on the ship then.
Yes. You wander through the forest.
I was going to say probably go about 5 minutes out and then identify the amulet.
Sure.
And it takes 10 minutes to set it up
Sure.
and figure out what
Nothing
it is.
disturbs you within that 10 minutes. And after that, you discern that it is, in fact, slightly magical, only in the sense that it is the second part of a larger object, and the pull is it's trying to get back to that larger object.
Mm. It is telling us where to go. That is its only effect, aside from it looking pretty.
That's look pretty.
What's the aura of magic on it, Alex? I'll refresh my detect magic during that 10 minutes as well.
Yeah, divination, reveal information, secrets, locations of hidden things. Yeah, divination.
Cool.
Okay.
It wants to be back to its hole. Or that's not... I didn't mean it the way that it sounded.
I mean, I understand. I'm wanting to be back in a hole.
You know what? Me too, actually. Yeah.
As you follow the pull, it takes you slightly uphill, deeper and deeper into the forest, before revealing to you an amazing sight. In a clearing in front of you, somehow hidden by the thickness of the forest, is a gigantic stone temple, 60 feet tall, 70 feet wide, made of intricately carved stonework. It's obviously seen better days as the trees and surrounding nature have taken over, but it's still possible to see a symbol crafted above the door, which you are welcome to make a religion check for whilst I send it over.
Oh, I'm so good at religion. 21.
I got a 19.
I got a 7.
Get down with the thickness.
You see a symbol that above the door that looks something like this. Shboop. Oh wait. Shboop.
Aha.
It is what appears to be, how do I describe it? A line down the center, this is for the podcast, with a C shape at the top, and then an inverse C shape below, or should I say sort of in between that. So the two C shapes in between each other, kind of forming an
They're
S shape. And then
interlocking.
exactly, and then two lines beneath, which are perpendicular to the original vertical line.
It's roughly similar to one of the shapes on the map that we got earlier.
This, roughly,
Yes. Well, I mean, you said they
yeah.
were rough assumptions of what they were, so.
this is obviously the symbol of Amishan, the god of tricks, traps, and mischief.
Obviously.
They were a popular god hundreds of years ago, as far as you know, because you've only ever read their name in texts or in books of history. As far as you're aware, in the modern world, there is less place for such fun and whimsy. The door that it is above is obviously made of stone. It is presumably thick considering the build of all of this, and has little design on it other than a swirling pattern that leads to a divot in the center.
Now, this does appear to be a temple to a god of tricks and deceit. Are we all cool with that? Are we cool with being tricked and deceived?
I told you getting that thing was too easy.
I mean, too easy in like the cosmic sense that there's more to come, or like too easy as in those guys are probably going to come back and try to kill us too easy?
Both.
I think we're probably safe from them. I think this temple is what we have to worry about now. I'm just going to put this in and see what's inside, and I'm sure it's fine.
Sure.
The gem fits comfortably into the divot, and as soon as you put it into the door, the whole door starts to make a grinding noise, evidently awaking old machinery that is struggling to work. But eventually, roughly and in a jarring motion, the door slides downwards, revealing the inside. The stone door opens into what appears to be the main room of a temple, a large chamber that has seen better days. This was obviously once a room full of colour and vibrancy, but the incredibly detailed murals and depictions on the walls have been faded by time. The walls are covered in thick ivy creeping over the stone surface and hanging down in long strands, and the floor is carpeted with a thick green moss spreading between the cracked tiles. The air is damp with a faint earthy smell emanating from the various vegetation around the room, the humidity focused in this room making a slight mist appear low to the ground. The ceiling rises high above, with a few sections crumpled, allowing slivers of light to shine through the detailed mural of what can only be assumed to be a god and their followers. You have already worked out. It is Amishan. The room is 110 feet long and 70 feet wide, which you obviously know off the top of your head, with an aisle running down the center, leading up a set of gentle stairs to a raised platform, on which resides a large, cracked altar. The altar is made of stone blocks, worn and uneven, with moss and vines creeping across its surface. The remnants of symbols of gods can be faintly seen on the stone, though they are nearly indistinguishable due to age and damage. On both sides of the room, rows of stone pews are scattered, some collapsed and others still upright, but cracked and broken, framed by the light filtering in through the cracks in the ceiling, which casts an eerie glow across the room, illuminating the overgrown altar and pews. And this is where I shall now drag you into, which you should be able to see, a big old rectangle room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which does have the number 1 in it. The 1 is not there, that is a reference, obviously.
What if it was there, though?
It's just on the floor.
Yeah. What if it was, though?
Don't worry about necessarily moving around the room. Obviously, for now, it's mostly reference. There are 2 doorways in this room. The one on the right is a small archway, and on the left is a large archway. Very simple.
Okay. We're in an ancient temple that hasn't been opened in many years. I'm sure there's great stuff to find. We should also be extremely careful.
The captain's being so quiet about this.
I'm just taking it all in, remembering what's here so that we don't forget and fall into trips and tricks. Tricks and traps. Trips and tricks. I think I'm still slightly affected by your cookies.
I thought that's just how you normally are, Captain.
Maybe. Wonderful. A decision that is entirely mine and definitely not that of a group, because I can cut out what everybody said. I think we should end the session there. React appropriately.
Aww.
Yeah.
Come on, let's keep going.
We can't. I've already said.
Boo!
We should continue on. So which means in this session you managed to sail.
Yeah.
And talk to some bullywugs.
And not get killed by them.
True.
We avoided a fight for once.
And Niffy is angry.
Niffy is sober.
Well, that's what she said.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Magic, Myths and Mayhem. Thank you to Dark Fantasy Studio and Nicolas Judy and Ovani for the use of their music in this episode. And a big thanks to you for listening. If you want to hear more behind the scenes content, alongside extra art and lore, please consider joining our Patreon by searching Magic, Myths and Mayhem on patreon.com, or watch our extra content and games on twitch.com. For now, thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next time. I'll see you then.
I've got quite a big question. It's kind of been going through my mind. It's, what do you think in learning our invention course?